Alright, so today we'll be covering this deck. First off, this is Revolutionary Zetta. A brand new impact monster. Lets you transform into any impact monster. You pay 3 gauge to call him, or you transform into him for 2 gauge. He cannot be destroyed or returned to hand if transformed. An impact transform, the new ability, right there, counts as a transformation. Nothing more. Indestructible and awesome. Except for 4,000 defense. Now this is the only golden card that's buddy rare that is not actually the buddy. Because we see in Sun Dragons here, Ball Dragon is the buddy. And for Dragon's Y, Ozzy the Hawk is the buddy. Revolutionary Zetta is just the key card. The real key card is the impact monsters. Especially fake weapon replica gemniclone. This size 0 here with 1,000 defense, 0 attack, 0 defense. 0 attack, 1,000 defense, 0 critical. This is the buddy. If your flag is Hero World and he's your buddy, you can impact monsters on top of him from different worlds, as seen in the anime. So, if you got any powerful impact monster card at all, this is your card. You could even put Abigail on top of this. The Vanishing Death Hole one. That takes away all 10 cards from opponent's deck. That way, any cards the opponent used and those Abigail cards go there, attack with it. Block it? Okay. Can't block the actual Abigail monster. Just throw it on top of this guy. Again. Destroy the soul. And ta-da. You can summon anything on this guy. It has a null ability too. Every ability is a counter. Because it's during the final phase. This guy though, any impact monster, any world, 1 gauge. 1 gauge! You don't even have to pay call cost. That is simply too much. Just as this is a lot. The flag. Every flag in these are character flags. Okay, since this card decided to stick with it, it's the new I've seen through your moves print. You can nullify any attack during the opponent's turn if you do not have a monster in center. Not that interesting. But if you have Zetta or gemniclone, it can get you transformed into the guy, or you get the monster into a soul of a monster. No damage. Reduced damage. So you got nullifications and reductions. The next card though, you can only use if you have Zetta on your field. Put any impact monster from your field to drop zone. Whoops. You can impact call anything from drop zone by paying its call cost. That includes other worlds, I think. Maybe not. Double check with the rules if you need to. Now we're covering so many of these spells because impact monsters are impacts. Usually you cover the monsters first. But no. And if you just can't get the impact monsters Zetta or gemniclone, pay a gauge during your final phase. Oh wait, never mind. This is our official Tasselman 2 draw. Just pay a gauge and draw 2 if you have either one on field. This is the card that lets you grab either one from your deck. It's actually pretty good. They don't give you enough of all these cards. Especially Hyper Energy. This card is worth $5 in here. The first print is worth 10 to 15, and the second print's worth 8. I have all of them. I've been trying to get prints forever. They just throw 3 in here. That makes me angry. Because you usually need 4 in a deck. Sure, they got those things that give you other gauges. They do replace it with artificial tassel and 3 gauge. If you got Zetta or gemniclone, hint, those 2 are the key cards. Especially Zetta, who lets you impact monster call all turn. You can impact monster call, then attack, then call, attack, call, attack, call, attack, call, attack, attack, call, attack! Constantly. Artificial tassel and 3 gauge though. Put top 3 cards of your deck in a gauge if you have either one on your field. Next spell. It just remade It's About Time I Got Serious. You only have 6 life or less, might as well pay a gauge and draw 2 cards. Yeah. Now, we know from the anime there is another version of gemniclone. Gemniclone variable bit is not that version. Counter, during your final phase, you can pay 2 gauge. If you do impact monster without gemniclone in its card name on your field without paying call cost, anyone can go on top of this monster. If this card is in the soul of an impact monster and will leave the field, you put this card from soul to drop zone, it remains on field. So impact calls something without soul guard. This gives it basically soul guard. Fake replica weapon gemniclone here doesn't. He's the buddy. I don't know about you, but I'd prefer the other one. It's 2 gauge, but yeah. Because a lot of these guys say soul guard on them, but a lot don't. It's really interesting what they do, though. Guys without call costs. But when this guy enters, just take a soul and throw it away from the opponent monster. Yeah, I don't see why would you main deck that. Their booster pack is going to be full of the cards for supporting these. But this one, I say is good. When this enters, destroy a monster on the opponent's field. Any monster. And then he can attack and destroy. It has 5,000 power, so both of those are actually kind of worth it now. This guy is a dark hero, so he dies when his turn ends. The other one doesn't. Now, let's see. I'm not going to go through those yet. Here it is. If you want to read him without shining, here it is. Oh, man. My camera won't focus. Basically, I've already said this guy out loud. Again, I don't get why he's the buddy. Why he's the golden buddy. I mean, buddy rare. He ain't the buddy of the deck, but he's the buddy rare. Now, what would be a good deck that lets you use gemniclone without fake copies of cards? A fake Adventurer Knight. Pay 3 gauge and put a monster on a field in a drop zone. Nope, not casting it, because when he enters field, have an item equipped, aka Zetta, destroy a card on the opponent's field. When this card attacks, it gets critical +1 for each different impact monster in drop zone. This is powerful. They only give you 2. They give you 2 of so many cards in here. 3 of so many. I'd say buy the golden buddy box again, but costs about $60 to $80 depending on your region or area. Parents, here is the perfect Christmas present for your buddy fight loving children. And no, it's a card game, sure, but it's a card game that requires strategy. They play on their own free will. Speaking of free will, I'm pretty sure these fake guys are just like fake copies without free will. This guy has soul guard, so that's good, right? He's the only one, I think, in here that has soul guard. No, Ancient World does too. Anyways, when he's called on the field, you can put a size 3 monster from drop zone to hand. Zetta's a size 3, so I guess if Zetta's gone, There's also a few other size 3s. Not this guy. Fake the Sunball Dragon. All AMs on field get 1 critical and it gets penetrate. Has 3 critical already. It's good. Now this next one. When this card destroys your opponent's monster, you can put top 3 cards of your deck into the drop zone from your opponents and deal 3 damage. If it's nullified, deal 1 damage to the opponent. So, destroy the opponent's card and deal 3 damage, deal 2 damage on its own, or just deal straight up damage to the opponent if they nullify. Now this last one. I don't really get why you'd want it. I mean, 9,000 power, 8,000 defense. Double attack, Soul Guard, Lifelink 2. 2 critical. Fake Lord Riddle Phantom. Yeah. All those fakes, they only give you 2 of. You get 56 cards per deck. 55 in your deck and 1 is your buddy. They only give you 3 of Artificial Tasselman Fine Joker, which is definitely a bad idea. They give you only like 2 or 3 of a lot of cards in here. To fill up certain areas, you're gonna want 4. And of course, those buddy cards could be used. So far, I see you may want some in Azudahaka. And you may want some more in Sun Dragon and this deck as well. Anyways, guys, nooch out. Peace.